Everyone, thank you very much for joining us on Midday Live. My name is Martin Nasidu Data. Coming up within the next 1 hour, we have stories from the Ashanti region where information gathered by the Ashanti Regional Fire Command has revealed that most of the fires that were caused in the region were caused by arson. Also in that region, police have indicated that about 20 persons have been arrested as suspects for assaulting an alleged lady thief in Kumasi, Kejetia. We have details coming up shortly. Also, hundreds of passengers stranded at Buipe in the northern region following closure of the main bridge linking Bonoahafo to the region. And a man believed to be in his 50s has been crushed by a train in a newly constructed railway terminal in Kojokrom in the western region. We have details of all these stories, including business, sports, entertainment, all lined up for you, and a detailed analysis of the State of the Nation address given by President Nana Akufo-Addo yesterday. Stay with us, we'll be back with the details. Thank you very much for staying with us. Let's settle for the details now. And the big one now we're looking at is that story we are getting from the Ashanti region, where a total of about 604 fire outbreaks have been recorded in the Ashanti region. And this was just for 2016. The domestic fires in 2016 alone stood at about 201. And let me just bring you a breakdown of those figures so you can get a clear picture of what we are saying. So this is what we got from the Ashanti Regional Fire Command. They are saying that for domestic fires, just 2016, a total of 604 fires were recorded. And then for domestic fires, 201, commercial fires, which had to do with markets and all of that, 81 of them recorded. Industrial fires, 30. Vehicular fires, 64. Electrical fires, 12. Bushfires, 204, and then institutional fires, just about 12. And of all these, you can tell that domestic fires dominated, or, you know, the highest number was that of domestic fires, followed by commercial fires, which is mostly market areas and, you know, places that a lot of people patronize. Then you come to vehicular fires, people who do not have extinguishers and the rest in their vehicles. And they are saying that, that is the Ashanti Regional Police Command says that they have actually foiled a planned arson attack on the Kumasi Central Market, and this is because the action, they say, was planned to have been carried out on Monday night by the Deputy Chief Fire Officer. Says that they were able to foil the attack because of some information, some tip-off that they got. He actually spoke to TV3's Ashanti Regional Correspondent William Evans Inkum live from the Ashanti Regional capital of Kumasi, where he said that investigations are underway for that particular person or group of persons who had planned to torch the Kumasi Kejetia market. All right, so we would get to speak to our correspondent shortly. That is William Evans Inkum, who would give us an update of that particular development about the fires in the Ashanti region. And so we would want to find out, Evans, what are they telling you with regard to the tip-off?
Actually getting closer to unraveling the mystery behind fire outbreaks in the Kumasi Central Market. I'll be speaking to the Ashanti Regional Fire Boss, Mr. Fiazo Semeko, to tell us what they've been able to unravel as far as the latest development on the Kumasi Central Market is concerned. A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Now, we understand that on Monday you kind of foiled an attempted arson attack on the Kumasi Central Market. Can you confirm that?
That is very true. We were able to foil the attempted fire outbreak at the Kumasi Central Market. It's very true.
Now, what really happened? And if you were able to arrest that particular person involved, can you tell us?
Well, no arrest has been made so far, but you recall that it has almost become an annual ritual for the Kumasi Central Market fire, Kumasi Central Market, to be every year we experience fire outbreaks there. So we try to find an antidote to this annual ritual of the burning of the Central Market. So in view of that, we formed a market task force that has to go around every evening to make sure that they patrol the markets, both Asafo and then the Central Market. Those are the key markets. And then besides that, station one fire tender, so that in the event of anything, they can respond quickly. And what they do is that by 7 o'clock, they start operation. They make sure that everybody leaves the market. They inspect the market, any hazards that they may come across. They make sure that they diffuse it. So this particular time, we did that, and because we have trained the watchmen on what to do in the event of any fire outbreak. Normally what they do is that they start calling the market owners or the shop owners. But this time we've given them some level of training and with our contacts so that they should contact us in the event of anything. And besides the patrol that we've been doing and undertaking. So this particular event, that's Monday, around 12:36, the standby crew noticed smoke billowing from one section of the market. So quickly they rushed there and noticed that, yes, there was a fire outbreak. And because of the proximity and because of the time factor, they were able to put the fire under control and extinguish it.
Now, you said they noticed a fire outbreak and they were able to put the fire under control. What evidence do you have to support your claim that this particular fire outbreak was an arson attack?
Yeah, you see, we have advised the watchmen to always close the gates because the market has about 8 or so gates, so they always close them. But in this particular case or situation, there's a woman who sells baby napkins, singlets, panties, and all of that, just very close to the gate, one of the gates. And because the person couldn't gain access to the market, he used petrol, we suspected petrol, in a bottle, and then started sprinkling through the gates. And when he succeeded in doing that, he tried, using matches to light. And you could see that he used several, matches which are evidence. And finally, he was able to set those wares ablaze through the gate. And when after doing that, we suspected that he threw the bottle in which he had the petrol into the burning fire, but he could not take the lid and those burnt matches that he attempted to use it. So they were all there as evidence. So those were, the things that we saw and we took to the police station. And besides that, the store has not got any electrical connection to suggest that it was an electrical fire. And because of the gate, they could not gain access into the market. So he left those things there and took his seals. I'm sure when he saw the smoke coming out.
So those evidence have been forwarded to the police?
Yes, we have forwarded those evidence to the Central Police for further and thorough investigations.
All right. Now, Martin, in somewhere 2013, following rapid and sporadic fire disasters in market centers in Accra and Kumasi, the president had to engage the services of some foreign experts to investigate and unravel the cause of these fires. And in 2014, now, these were the words of the president. I'm talking about the former president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The Kumasi market fire was inconclusive because by the time they got there, people had gone in and destroyed much of the evidence, and so they could not find anything concrete that they could use to investigate. This was reaction to the 2013 fire disasters of major market in Accra and then Kumasi. I mean, that was just a response to what after the experts have done with their investigation. But the question we are asking is, with this latest development confirming that indeed there might be some arson attacks on the Kumasi central market and perhaps other market, will this set the tone for the fire command or the authorities to be smarter than the perpetrators? My name is William Evans Inkum. Over to you, Martin.
Thank you very much, William Evans Inkum, and great guy in the Ashanti region, has his eyes and ears on every development there. So we would stay in the Ashanti region now, though, because a big story, emanated from that region a couple of days ago. It had to do with a woman who was assaulted because she was believed to have stolen some items. She was terribly and badly assaulted and attacked and mutilated. So the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection has tasked the police in the region to identify and prosecute persons who assaulted a young woman in Kumasi who was alleged to have stolen. Some human rights groups have also condemned the act and are demanding justice for the woman.
Article 15, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution says the dignity of every Ghanaian is inviolable. In other words, no person's dignity can be tampered with. Article 19, Clause 2c also states that no person shall, whether or not he is arrested, restricted or retained, be subjected to torture or other cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment, any other condition that detracts or is likely to detract from his dignity and worth as a human being. This portion of the country's constitution makes it clear that mob action is criminal. A mob recently attacked a young lady in Kumasi, stripped and kicked her in the private part for allegedly stealing 1,100 Ghana cedis.
Many people lack confidence in the Ghana Police Service, so they are unable, to report matters to the police, and it's one of the reasons why many people would just embark on mob action.
In 2011, some students of the University of Ghana were reported to have molested a lady who allegedly posed as a student and stole mobile phones and laptops on the campus. In 2014, some 3 ladies also went through a similar ordeal at a shopping mall in Accra. The Gender, Children and Social Protection Minister, Otiko Afisa-Jaba, has condemned the act and called for an investigation into the case.
It's not done. There's some moral taboo against attacking women and children. I want to emphatically condemn what I saw. I've spoken to the director in charge of domestic violence to investigate it. The police have issued a statement. They're looking for the lady. They will have to investigate.
With social media available, such instances easily go viral. Human rights lawyer Francis Xavier Susu says the police is a little too late in identifying and bringing the perpetrators to book.
If the police is committed to dealing with this matter, because wherever this happened, I believe that there are police officers there. In that community, there should be a police, station in that community. And I think that by now, if the police is really serious and they want to do something about it, at least by now, at least 1 or 2 people should have been arrested in connection with this matter. But so far, we haven't heard anything. And I think it's completely unacceptable.
Gender advocacy group, Women in Law and Development in Africa, WILDAF, also holds the same opinion. The group intends to seek justice for the lady.
follow up with the case to ensure that at least justice is done and people who are involved in such unacceptable acts are brought to book.
All right, so we were staying with this particular subject because a researcher and a member of the Progressive Alliance Media Communicators, the civil society group fighting for justice for the woman, has revealed that being a foreigner, the assaulted lady could not express herself in the local dialect when the mob attacked her.
According to the police, the lady was given a medical form to go for treatment. They, however, did not take any details about her. But information gathered by TV3 indicate that the lady in question was innocent, just a victim. A researcher and member of an advocacy group, Progressive Alliance Media Communicators, which is seeking justice, disclosed that the lady, being a foreigner, could not express herself in the local language.
What the police made us aware was that from what they heard of the person who brought her to the station, she did not actually took any money. But then she was assumed to have been the person who has taken the money because of her inability to express herself in the local language.
Charles Osei Kojo said she was left to her fate, realizing that she was innocent. According to the police, she made no formal complaint, neither has anyone come to make any.
The police gave her a medical form to take to a hospital. But then because they did not state a particular hospital for her to go to, she could have taken it to any hospital, government hospital in the country. That is why it is making it very difficult to track her down.
All right, so TV3 actually broke this story, and we are following it to the letter. And because the latest information reaching TV3 indicates that police in the Ashanti region have arrested about 20 suspects who are mainly traders, and they were part of the people who stripped the lady naked, beat her up, allegedly for stealing some items in the central business district of the Ashanti region. And a screening exercise is expected to take place today to identify those who actually took part in the brutalizing of the lady. And our Northern Bureau Chief Kofi Edudonfe will be joining us in a bit to let us know what exactly is the current situation and whether he can confirm the number of people who were arrested with regard to this lady in question. It is actually rather surprising that another information is that she was a foreigner and could not speak the local dialect, and so that is another information that we have gotten. And so when we do get our reporter on the our Northern Bureau Chief, then we'll try and speak to him to find out what's happening or what the latest is with regard to the police service. And certainly we'll bring you the update from that and follow it to the very end, because the police have taken the issue up. Some civil society groups who have lawyers with them, we are told, have arrived in the Ashanti region to look for the lady, pick her side of the story, and then also the suspects who have been arrested would also be dealt with. The Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection is also taking the issue up. So we will follow it to the very end and keep you posted on that. This is still Midday Live on TV3. Let's move on to some other stories now. And hundreds of travelers have been stranded in Buipe in the northern region since Tuesday following the closure of the main bridge that connects to Kintampo in the Bonohafo region. The Buipe bridge has been closed to traffic for the next 20 days. And that is the information we have. This is to enable the Bridge Maintenance Unit of the Ghana Highway Authority to undertake emergency repair works on one of the major bridges in the which is on the Tamale-Kintampo stretch. Earlier information we had was that the bridge had broken down, but the clarity now is that it has been closed deliberately to restore or to repair a suspected problem on the bridge, and the officials there are working on it. We would want to speak to our correspondent to see the extent of effect that the closure of the bridge is having on trade, because it looks like a very major connector between Kintampo, which is in the Bonohafo region, and then the Buipe, which is in the northern part of the country. So because of that, business activities and human movement has been stalled. We'll update you on that as well. Let's move to Kojokrom now, because a man believed to be in his 50s was killed and crushed into pieces by a train on the spot near the newly constructed railway terminal in Kojokrom, a suburb of Esikado in the Western region on Tuesday night, February 21, 2017. Eyewitnesses say the deceased was among a group of persons suspected to be alcoholics and weed smokers who normally gather around the newly constructed terminal at night. The deceased could not run for safety as a manganese train from Takoradi to Nsuta knocked him down, mutilating his body with the intestines gushing out, and the incident happened late night around 10:30. Personnel from the Ghana Ambulance Service were quickly called to the scene, but the victim had already given up the ghost. He has been identified as Kweku, a resident of Esikado, and is with a wife and children. One of his daughters, who rushed to the scene soon after the incident, reportedly collapsed upon seeing her father's mutilated body. The body has since been conveyed to the Ifeanyi Regional Hospital morgue for onward burial. And so we cannot show you how gory the pictures look, but it is an eyesore, and we had to blur it for obvious reasons. This is still Midday Live on TV3, and we'd want to hear from you as well. Subsequently, we'd find out, a detailed breakdown of what the president has said when he addressed Parliament yesterday on his first State of the Nation address. He touched on issues of the railway from Takoradi to the northern part of that is Paga, and saying that it will commence this year. Already, former President Mahama started some railway work in the Western region. So is it a continuation? Certainly, probably a continuation of what the president has done. Certainly, he's also touched on agriculture, saying that already there's some Canadian money that has been secured to boost the agricultural subsector. And there is a possibility government might cancel or review some of the contracts that ECG has signed. Details of all of this coming up shortly. Before that, though, the police have arrested a 40-year-old suspect who posed as a military man at Ofanko in Accra. Samuel Atta is suspected to have snatched a Kia Sorento car from its owner.
Samuel Atta, 40, was arrested driving the 4x4 Kia Sorento vehicle with registration number AW943414. He had military apparel in the vehicle apart from a military t-shirt he wore. He told the patrol team he worked at the 48th Engineering Regiment at Teshi in Accra and that the vehicle belonged to his girlfriend.
We have been informed that he has been going around defrauding people, robbing people of their valuables like laptops, ladies' bags, mobile phones, and vehicles. And indeed, the vehicle in which he was driving at the time of arrest, being the Kia Sorento four-wheel, is a product of his criminal activities.
The Achimota Mile 7 District Police is again investigating 3 young men, Ernest Frimpong, 17, a caterer, Edward Ajay, 18, electrician, and Yusuf Mmai, also 18 and unemployed. The suspects had in their possession a dagger and a machete when they were arrested on board a Daewoo Matis taxi with registration number GG125215 at Asofan in Accra. The suspects, according to the police, attempted to hide the offensive weapons upon seeing the police patrol. The weapons were retrieved upon a search on the taxi. The suspects reportedly gave the police conflicting statements on the reason they were carrying the weapons. They will be charged after further investigations.
Let's go to the seat of government now. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has appointed 30-year-old Fatima Abubakar from Garu in the Upper East region as Deputy Communications Director at the presidency. Now, Ms. Abubakar is a member of the New Patriotic Party's communication team. She was a campaign aide to the flag bearer of the party during the 2016 general elections. That's Akufo-Addo. And then also holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology with English language from the University of Ghana, Legon. As a frontier in student politics, she was the vice president of the Kwafo Hall Junior Common Room in 2008 and contested for the coordinating secretary of the National Union of Ghana Students in 2010. Fatima Abubakar worked in the hospitality industry as a house manager of the Lansdowne Resort. She also worked at the Dankwa Institute and SRM Engineering. This is still a Midday Live on TV3. We will take a quick breather. Now, when we return, we'll let you know what the Ghana 60 Independence Committee has been up to, and then also bring you some highlights from the past. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with TV3. This is Midday Live, and we go straight to the world of business now. And President Akufo-Addo outlined policies in his administration which he intends to implement to salvage the economy. In his maiden State of the Nation address, the president gave the assurance he will fix the problems and make life better for all Ghanaians.
President Akufo-Addo noted the country's current economic situation is dead as a result of policy choices from the previous government. He said Ghana's total revenue is consumed by three main budgetary lines: wages and salaries, interest and payments, and amortization and statutory payments. These three items alone, he said, account for 99.6% of Ghana's revenue.
After 8 years of the previous government, there's practically no fiscal space left. The persistent resort to borrowing for any additional expenditures to meet the aspirations of our people is also not sustainable.
Ghana's debt stock in 2008 was 9.5 billion cedis, but as at the end of 2016, the country's debt stock stood at 122 billion cedis, which is 74% of GDP. The president also revealed that Ghana missed almost all its targets under the IMF as fiscal indiscipline reared its head in 2016. He disclosed that total projected expenditure for 2016 was 43.9 billion Ghana cedis, representing 26% of GDP, but actual expenditure amounted to 50.3 billion Ghana cedis, representing 30.2% of the GDP.
From what we are finding out, that some 7 billion cedis of arrears and outstanding payments circumvented the very public financial management system that was put in place to prevent such occurrences. These expenditures are being currently audited.
But the president gave the assurance he will fix the problems and make life better for Ghanaians.
And I will not allow this economy to collapse under my watch. We will reduce significantly the fiscal deficit this year.
All right, that will be it for Business on Midday Live. We are going now to the Ashanti region to talk to our Bureau Chief, Kofi Edudomfe, who gave us that story with regard to the number of people arrested by the police. We are told that about 20 people have been arrested in connection with the lady who was assaulted at the KJT market. And we're going to go straight to him. He's joining us via Skype. Kofi, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Kofi. Can you hear me?
Hello, Martin.
Yes, good afternoon.
I can hear you.
Good. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you confirm the total number of people arrested with regard to the woman assaulted at the KJT market?
Well, Martin, I must say that the police are actually out this year in Kumasi, specifically in the central business district of Edum, who claim to have participated in the mob strip of this particular lady. Among others, within the enclave, and we are told there are over 20. The police has not been specific as to the numbers, but today they're supposed to conduct a screening as to identify the suspects as they were captured in this particular video of the mob action, which has gone viral. Now, I must say currently some family members of those arrested have been frequenting the police station to get bail for the suspects. And since yesterday, actually, they've been trooping to the central police station to get these suspects bailed. But this will certainly not happen until the police concludes the screening exercise.
Did they just do a random swoop and picked any and everybody in and around the place, or they were targeted arrests?
Well, to be very specific, you know, there's been calls for the police to act on the suspects, and they couldn't do that initially because they claimed the video that went viral was not too stable for you to pick and identify people that were involved in this mob action. But yesterday's action was acted upon by following up on some media reports. Apparently, some of those who participated in this mob action had spoken to the media about why they undertook this stripping of the lady, ostensibly, as they claimed, to punish her for a crime yet to be established. So the police went in there with the support of the media to identify those who had already spoken to the media and arrested them together with other people around the area who necessarily did not speak to the media but were suspects.
Okay, so when is the screening likely to start? Because they cannot be held more than 48 hours. Hello, Kofi.
We were saying, hello, Martin.
Yes, I'm asking about the screening. Has it begun or
Hello,
they are
Martin.
yet to?
So we're expecting that it should have been concluded by now, but we are told that the regional crime officer is currently so as of now, the police has not been able to speak as to how this screening exercise is going to be carried out and when it's going to end as well. But I must also say that the lady in question is yet to be located after she received the medical form to get treatment from the hospital, and it is still not known whether she indeed went for the treatment as she currently cannot be traced.
That was actually going to be my last question. Do we even know where she is right now?
Not at all, and the other aspect of it is that her true identity is also very scanty, as the police failed to record her details when she was rescued from the mob and sent to the Kumasi Central Police Station. But we are told she could be a Nigerian, but we cannot be certain as to her real identity as of now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kofi Edudomfe, for speaking with us. He is our Ashanti, our Northern Bureau Chief, and was giving us an update about the arrests of some persons who are suspected to have engaged in the, attack on the lady who was arrested for, stealing at the market. We'll keep an eye on this development and keep you posted subsequently. This is still Midday Live on TV3. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Good afternoon, and it's time to bring you some sport here on Media Live with me, Thierry. Now, CAF President Issa Hayatou has revealed that the continental body have asked for 9.5 places for the, at the expanded FIFA World Cup when it starts in 2026. Last month, FIFA voted to expand the World Cup from 32 teams to 48, although the number was not cast in stone. It had been agreed in principle. According to Hayatou last week, there was a meeting in Dubai where it was decided that the African continent will have 9 sports. He also said it's not definitive, and CAF will try to find the half place that they have staked to, a claim to. But at the moment, Africa has 9 of the 48 places among the teams in the World Cup. The half place means a CAF team would have to play off against a side from another, as yet decided, by any of the confederations. And then let's do some local football now, where the Ghana Premier League resumes this particular day. I'm talking about a midweek, sets of fixtures. Let's see them on our screens now, because the likes of Ashanti Gold, who are doing quite well in the season, are going to be facing Tema Youth. But the Jonah Stars, who are table toppers with 6 points, 100% record, will face Bolga All Stars. Brecum Chelsea against Liberty Professionals. 2 sides who are struggling in this campaign. Ebusua Drafts against Hearts of Oak, who will be chasing a first win after 2 goalless draws against Inter Allies and Mediama Sporting Club. The likes of Mediama Sporting Club themselves are going to be facing Inter Allies and Wild Stars against Wafa. Now, goalkeeper Richard Ofori could be set for a move to Cape Town City, according to reports in South Africa. Ofori, who was a part of the Black Stars squad at the African Cup of Nations in Gabon and featured in 3rd and 4th game against Burkina Faso, is inching closer to a move abroad after guiding Wild Stars to a win the Ghanaian top flight. As reported earlier, the 22-year-old had a trial with City last year, with sources indicating that he impressed the technical team with his performances in training. Ofori recently parted ways with Ghana Premier League side Wild Stars. It is believed that his next club is likely to be City if all goes according to plan for all the parties. City recently added another international goalkeeper to their books, that's Zimbabwe's Tatenda Mukuruva, who also featured at the recent 2017 African Cup of Nations. All right, so let's go straight to Europe, where last night we saw about 14 goals scored in 2 games. Yes, 8 games in the city of Manchester, and then in Germany there were, some further games. 6 goals in there, I should say. A 5-3 win for Manchester City and a very vital 4-2 away win for Atletico Madrid. But tonight it continues. FC Porto will face Juventus, as Leicester City, who was struggling miserably in the English Premier League, will travel to high fly in Sevilla in the Spanish La Liga. Now let's take a look at tonight's Europa League fixtures. It's Thursday night football as has been branded, but there are some Wednesday night fixtures. Manchester United will be taking on Saint-Etienne in France, and that is going to be the return leg after the 3-0 win at Manchester last week. There are some other results, as Fenerbahce are also going to be in action against PAOK and some other game in there. So we'll bring you all of that subsequently here on TV3. But let's move on with the news. And Jose Mourinho has reiterated that he is not going to be sacking or forcing Wayne Rooney out. He has, however, not ruled out the prospects of Wayne Rooney leaving the club this month. The 31-year-old England forward, who scored his 250th United goal last month to become the club's record scorer, has been linked with a move to China in recent weeks.
Of course I can't. I can't guarantee that I'm here next week. How can I guarantee that the player is here next season. What I can guarantee is that if Wayne one day leaves the club, it's not because I want him to leave the club. That's the only thing I can guarantee. I would never push or try to push a legend of this club to another destiny. So you have to ask him if he sees himself staying in the club for the rest of his career, or if he sees himself moving. It's not a question for me, because I'm happy to have him.
All right, so that was Jose Mourinho. He's Manchester United manager. A Pogba affair was supposed to be. Zlatan Ibrahimovic stole the show last week. What is going to be the story this time around? We'll bring you all the details to that subsequently here on TV3. My name is Thierry Nyan, and that's all for sport here on Media Live. Martin Asedudate stands by to bring us some more news. Martin?
Absolutely. So we're just taking a step back to some of the issues we discussed, and the president, we're told, yesterday was in Parliament and told the country what the state of Ghana is as we speak. Now, we just bring you a few key points, especially when he touched on issues of energy. The president was specific that the current energy debt, the current debt that we have when it comes to only energy stands at $2.4 billion. And $8 million of this $2.4 billion is owed to local banks alone. And so he's hoping to resolve this particular issue. And that is the $800 million he talked about. New tariffs are going to be implemented, the president noted. The government would also review all the power agreements. He says some of them would be cancelled, some of them some of them may be cancelled, all of them will be reviewed, some of them may be, extended. He said that a lot of looking into the agreements would be done, and it's currently being done. And this is one key point a lot of people have disagreed with the president over. He says VRA and Gridco would be listed on the stock exchange. And is that feasible? He says he's going to do this because he wants them to be able to get some financial resources to be able to resolve their debt crisis. And is that the right way to go? Is that the right approach? Former Energy Minister Dr. Kwabena Donkor, Power Minister Dr. Kwabena Donkor, for example, says that it is not the right decision to be taken by the president because Gridco, for instance, is like the brain of the power sector. And if that is a security installation, why would you put your brain on a stock exchange to get people attacking it if they want to? We would explore that issue further. But for now, though, we hit the streets to ask Ghanaians what they made of the President's State of the Nation address. This is what they had to say.
Yesterday, the President addressed the country on the state of the nation. But per your analysis and assessment, did it really reflect the true state of the nation? What do you think?
He did that exactly. People were expecting more breakdown of what, etc., etc. But in my opinion, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and nothing more, nothing less.
The figures that he mentioned will not be. He doesn't concord. He doesn't conjure those figures. I'm sure they went into it and they realized that this was among the figures that the country is owing, and he's been elected as a president in the government, elected as a president to make sure that they correct all these mistakes and put the country on the drawing board.
It was a good thing he said yesterday. He gave us a fair idea of what he knows about the state of the nation. But from what he said, I think the way forward, once we are in Ghana and want the prosperity of the nations, all I would say is that I look up to him fulfilling all the promises that he gave to these people.
What he promised, what he did the campaign is what he said. I don't understand why people are saying that what he said about campaign is what he's saying, because it doesn't make any sense.
And for the first time, this was one of the shortest addresses we've ever had. As a graduate, I'm still home, jobless. He touched on unemployment, the way to go about it. He spoke on time, punctuality and regularity, which I was very much happy about. Consideration of putting some of the state agencies, VRA, Gridco, and then ECG on the stock exchange. I think if that is the way to go to make us free and then the economy better, I support it.
He was on point. I think the truth has to be said so that we all know where we are standing and where we are going. So I think it was okay. But what we're expecting is, we know he's not good, that's why we voted him. So we have to do something about it so that we'll all be free as Ghanaians.
My interesting line the president, gave for me was the part where he said he was not voted for to come and complain and that he will fix it. I remember former President John Mahama also saying, I will fix the Dumso. So we'll see if he's able to fix it. We hope that he's able to fix it so the entire country can benefit from that. This is still Midday Live on TV3. We'll be back with more. Stay.
I am Prince Kofi Amoaben. I'm the president of UT Holdings. UT Holdings involves a bank and subsidiaries like a logistics company, properties company, and others. Join me on Monday, the 27th of February, as I get hosted by Pakwesi Asare on A Time with the Captains. It will be my privilege to share my experiences as we grew these companies with everyone. You will actually pick up what makes a difference in becoming an entrepreneur and in growing the businesses, and hope you will learn a lot from the experience. Thank you very much.
Time with the Captains this Monday at 6 p.m. only on TV3.
The search is complete. Auditions are over, and we are ready to find out who wins the top prize in Ghana's Talented Kids Season 8. There's a 10,000 Ghana Cedi cash prize and a 6,000 Ghana Cedi educational fund up for grabs, and our contestants are hungrier than ever to be the ultimate winner. Make a date with us this and every Sunday at 4 p.m. on TV3. Talented Kids, free to play.
Royal Drinks, Jack and Jill Luzane, Diamond Baby Diapers.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Time now for international news.
South Africa's decision to withdraw from the International Criminal Court, ICC, has been ruled unconstitutional and invalid by the High Court. South Africa notified the UN of its intention to leave last October, accusing the ICC of undermining its sovereignty. But the opposition Democratic Alliance argued that the government had to first seek parliamentary approval. The court ordered the government to revoke its notice of withdrawal. The decision to pull out came after a dispute by Sudanese President Omar al-Bashar's visit to the country in 2015. UN aid agencies are appealing to international donors to provide money to scale up life-saving operations in drought-stricken Ethiopia and Somalia, where millions of hungry people are at risk of death and illness. 5 years after a devastating 2011 famine killed nearly 260,000 people in Somalia, famine again is stalking that country. The worst affected areas are in northern Puntland and Somaliland, where dozens of drought-related deaths and many illnesses already are being reported. The United Nations estimates that half of Somalia's population of 6.2 million people is threatened by the drought. The UN Children's Fund said children were the most vulnerable. Malaysian police have named a senior North Korean embassy official they want to question in connection with the killing of Kim Jong-nam. Hyun Kwang-song is one of 3 North Koreans being sought along with an employee of the state airline. Police also confirmed Mr. Kim, half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, died after 2 women wiped a toxin on him at Kuala Lumpur airport. North Korea's embassy in Malaysia angrily denied the claims.
Thank you very much for staying with TV3. We've brought you business, we've brought you sports, we've brought you entertainment. No, now time for entertainment though. We've brought you some political stories as well. And in entertainment news this afternoon, popular TV personality and comedian Kwame Jokoto of Efira fame is fancying a legal career. The actor whispered to TV3's entertainment reporter Owusu Warai that he will temporarily put acting and his entertainment career on hold for the classroom. What may have informed that decision?
Take a communion body in the Mamansanka, but why Area JB now, but I'm going to catch on the greedy. That is the reason why I'm here to the hard on start up to scout with you that.
Kwame Jokoto, affectionately called Judge Kobo, earns a living in comedy shows which he is proud of. He is famed for his comic role in local TV series Efira. The comedian veered into politics in 2016, contesting the Takwa Nswayem parliamentary seat on the ticket of the NDC.
I wanted to, push for development to the area.
Funny enough, his opponents ridiculed his profession, telling him to the face that serious minds and not comedians are needed in parliament.
What you said, that one serious person to come and lead us. My opponent, who is learned, was also saying it. So I was like, is this guy serious? Because I don't know, you say he's doing comedy, that is what he knows how to do best, so he should go and do it. I mean, who is supposed to be in parliament? We've got a lot of people there. There are doctors who are in parliament. Are you telling me that when they go to parliament, they are injecting people there? No.
Kwame Jokoto lost the seat by over 18,000 margin. The comedian has whispered to TV3 he now wants to temporarily put his entertainment career on hold.
But then, unfortunately, because I decided to go into politics to serve my people, I gave myself like 4 years ahead of me. That is what basically for that aspect. So I decided to tone down on entertainment business that I was doing, but then so that didn't happen, maybe I'll be going to school to upgrade what I have now.
Kwame was saying that between now and next 4 years, you'll be doing less entertainment.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I'm doing less entertainment. I want to do I want to, add value to my academic laurels. So
the question now is Kwame Jokoto's decision to change career an admission that comedians are not serious enough to contribute to parliamentary business?
Lawyer Kwame Jokoto is back, so vote for him.
That is it. I want to prove to you that your question that you said that we need serious guy, it means that anybody can apply and go and do law. I want to prove to people that there's no limitation in life. Don't be content with what you have. I only want to just show it to people that it is not that I'm not serious.
So in the 2020 parliamentary elections, Takwa Nswayem should expect Kwame Jokoto, the legal practitioner in the making, and not the comedian.
And I perfectly endorse him for this pursuit. There's a never-ending journey of academics, and I think it is good that he's taking that decision, but he shouldn't leave entertainment because we love him for who he originally is. That's it for the bulletin. My name is Martin Esedidati. There is more news on our website, 3news.com. Do visit and get updated, and that will be it for the bulletin. Do have a good afternoon, and as always, stay positive. Bye for now.